For more now on the Thabo Bester escape saga, we're now joined by legal practitioner Mpumelelo Zikalala from Zikalala Attorneys, and he joins us via our video link to discuss Thabo Bester claiming his luxury items being worth more than 30 million rand and were stolen from him after his arrest in Tanzania in April. The question is, what happens if he had purchased the items illegally? Mpumelelo, thank you so much for your time here on the late edition. Of course, we now know that as much as there were issues in court about Thabo Bester being treated inhumanely, at the same time we were dealing with something that was quite shocking to many South Africans, that he was in the possession of items of more than 30 million rand. You know, one would say that why is a convicted felon in the possession of, items of this nature? And also, why bring it up in this court appearance?
I think maybe let's start with the last question. One would say they knew exactly that they're not going to get any joy in terms of obtaining the things that he alleges have been stolen. So I think it was partly theatrics and partly a plot to say that I'm going to state my case and be able to present myself in a manner of a victim in this case. I want to be known as someone who his suffering has been treated inhumanely and has his stuff stolen. But what you must remember again is that some of the things that he may have thought that has been stolen would be later used within the evidence, in terms of saying, here's an individual who was caught in a foreign country with certain things or tools that one would be able to use in order to escape or to run away from the country, from his country of origin. Secondly, you may find that when it comes to things like your cell phone and laptops, they've been opened already, and they are part of the investigation that has taken place, and they played a very integral part in the other 11 accused that are there, in terms of being able to communicate and ensure that there have been communication between the parties. So you may find that the things that he's actually looking for are part and parcel of what is contained in what we call an SABC 13, and we later use as evidence against him.
Yes, and it does indeed bring me to my question around whether, these possessions, he's claiming that were stolen from him, can they harm his case, and can they be used as, further evidence here in this matter?
Yes, they can. Remember that when you get caught, the police are going to say, let us check in every single item that has been found with this particular individual. Also, the nature of the allegations of the transgressions that have taken place is crucial in this one. If a person has escaped from prison, you want to know who assisted you, what has been assisting you from being able to dodge the bullets and all the other law enforcement agencies. And certainly your phone is going to be crucial. One would want to know, when it comes to hardcore cash, where did you find that amount of money? Who gave you the amount of money? What you're going to do with the money? The same applies with your laptops, the same applies with phones, and any other luxury item that is there. So before you actually claim that it has been stolen, you may find that it is part and parcel of what appears in the SABC 13, and you must just wait and see up until the process has been done and dusted. And by the way, he does have an option after the whole trial has been done and dusted to say, when you arrested me, I had the following items with me. They are no longer there. Now I'm suing you as a state for the recovery of the items that would have been there when I was arrested on the day. And now no one can be able to account as to where those items are.
And what is the possibility here of these items, that he claims that belong to him? Can they be purchased illegally? Are they proceeds from crime? Because we know the kind of operation we've heard from a number of people saying that, they are victims of Thabo Bester. One can ask that, were these also some of those things he used in those crimes?
That's one of the questions which are going to be answered by the investigation. And part of doing that investigation is, for example, when it comes to phone, open the phone and see the type of activity which is going on. With regards to laptop, open the laptop and let's see what type of conversation is actually taking place. And if indeed they belong to other individuals, return them back to the rightful individuals and charge him for having or for being in possession of stolen goods. So they are certainly part and parcel of the investigation. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the additional charges which are going to come in at a later stage in terms of saying, Yes, initially you were charged for escaping from lawful custody or escaping from prison, but upon investigation and conducting further investigation, there are additional charges in which we're going to add, and these charges have been found in possession of stolen goods. And one of those stolen goods are the ones that you're actually complaining about when you appeared physically in the state court.
And Mpumelelo, we seem to be losing you there slightly, but I'm still going to ask you my next question, if you can hear me. Maybe take us through what takes place when somebody is arrested. What are the processes that is actually, taken by the state, when you are arrested, and, where do your possessions land up, and what's the likelihood of those possessions, being stolen?
Okay. Once you've been placed under arrest, then they will tell you that you are no longer at liberty to do whatever that you want. So whatever positions that you have, you then hand them over to the state. If there's a next of kin which is available or a person that can be contacted, then you then tell them that there's a number of items that have been found, for example, your phone, your watch, your belt, and even the shoelace, some things in which cannot be able to go within the holding cells. And then they are then handed over to those individuals, and then it is squared up. However, in instances where the items which are in your possession are still under investigation, or they are going to be utilized to conduct an investigation, for example, your phone, they do not go to you or to your relatives or to a next of kin. They then go to what we call an SAP13, which is a list or a document that is going to state these are the list of items that have been found from these individuals, and we are still conducting investigations in terms of that particular item. Now, each time that an item would leave the police station and then come back to the later stage, the chain of evidence has then to flow in terms of saying this document or this particular phone arrived in this police station on the 8th of August, and this has been taken by Mr. So-and-so and returned back on this date. This was the purpose of taking that particular item out, and this is the information that you've been able to obtain for it. If it's going to form part and parcel of the evidence at a later stage, that must be stated so that when it is presented in court, you are well aware of what they are referring to, and you can only obtain it at the end of the case unless it is going to be forfeited to the state, or it's something that cannot be returned because it was never lawfully yours in the first place. So yes, there are instances, because we can't lie, of items going missing which are not supposed to go missing which were in the possession of the police. However, there are ways and means in order to obtain it via your civil proceedings, but you do not state that those particular items are missing at this stage, because you don't know whether it's going to be used as a later stage as evidence against you.
And just my last question to you, of course, that appearance had a lot of mixed reactions from the public, just how Nandipa was towards Thabo Bester. Maybe what do you make of it, especially now that it's played out in the public? And of course, we know that previously a number of people were feeling sorry for Dr. Nandipa Makutumana. This court appearance, what does it mean for this case?
I think let's separate it from a number of instances. The first one, remember that legally speaking, whenever a person appears in court, they are presumed innocent up until an order has been issued or a pronouncement in the state of guiltiness has been pronounced. Now, in this case, Dr. Nandipa and Mr. Thabo Bester are still regarded as innocent individuals, which is why you are going to find that when Thabo Bester appears, he's not wearing the orange overall, and they are treated in a manner in which they are presumed to be innocent. So on that basis, when they appear and sit in that particular witness box, that type of innocent status must be attached to them up until evidence has been provided, regardless of the fact that we know certain things and there are certain presumptions that you have made as members of the public. But secondly, we must then allow the process, or maybe from us as members of the public, educate ourselves in terms of the legal process that is followed, and just wait and see up until it has been done and dusted, and give it a bit of time so that it is done in a thorough manner. So it may be presumed as if there were two lovebirds that were enjoying the company of each other at the instances of people who have lost their lives or they have committed a certain crime. But from the side of legally speaking, it was purely a process of saying, these are accused who are appearing today. the stage of readiness of their case is being determined. They're going to come back to court at a later stage, and this is how we're going to deal with them. Maybe some reprimanding here and there in terms of the manner in which they're going to sit and be attentive in court, because this session is about them, and they need to be part and parcel of it and be able to know what's happening. But it was nothing out of the ordinary, just the manner in which things worked.
All right, Mpumelelo, thank you so much for your contribution and your time.